So my dad's more of like a musician kind of guy. So he plays piano and he covers like all the classic rock songs, which is, kind of
Mhm.
cool.
My name's Adam, by the way, and this is about you and your journey in music.
Yes. Hi, Adam. Nice to
Hello.
meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. What part of the world are you in right now?
I'm actually at my boyfriend's parents' house in like some small town in Ontario. So I'm not really sure where. There's so many like towns I've learned about.
Sure.
I'm like such a Vancouverite. I'm like, I don't care about any of your towns. Vancouver is the best place in the world. So
So you're from the
yeah,
West Coast? Vancouver's
I
West Coast,
am.
right? Okay.
Yes, I'm like a big West Coaster.
And how long have you been in the East? How? Because Toronto's pretty far east, right?
Yeah, it is. So I moved out there about 3 months ago, so I'm pretty fresh to the
Oh,
big city.
wow. Okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So talk to
Brand
me.
new.
Yeah, were you born and raised in the west side of Canada then?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Vancouver,
Oh,
and
you were.
then yes, yes,
Okay.
and then I moved out here for school. So I'm studying music right now and loving it so much.
Very cool. So, talk
Mhm.
to me about growing up in Vancouver.
Growing up in Vancouver, was probably, like, the best thing ever because you have the mountains and you have the beach, so there's so many fun outdoor activities you can do, like skiing. We would go skiing so much when I was little and going to the beach, and
Mhm.
it's just, like, such a happy place, you know? It's such a great place for young kids too because there's just so much to do. It's amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm from the West Coast also. I'm from San Diego, and it's similar where you can go to the beach and then drive. You could go to the beach at 5, 6 in the morning and then drive 2 hours and go skiing all day. It's so crazy.
Literally, yeah, that's exactly what it's like in BC.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. Yeah, you go surfing and snowboarding on the same day. Um,
Yes. Mhm.
so when did you get into music?
There was never like a specific time when I was like, I want to make music. I think I just coming from such like a musical family, like both of my parents are really passionate about music. My dad plays in a band.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was always really like into music. There was never like a specific moment where I was like, "Oh, like I think this is what I want to do with my life." But when I was 9, I entered into a songwriting and choral composition contest, and I ended up winning it against like university students and stuff. I was
Whoa.
the
At 9 years
youngest.
old?
I know, I think that's my biggest flex. I don't think I've ever done anything like that, so I wanna thank my 9-year-old self for doing that, and for entering in that competition. So, I think after I won that, I was like, "Okay, so I'm definitely good at this, and I
Mhm.
need to focus on, honing my craft and making myself even better." Um, but I don't think there was a specific really a specific moment when I got into music.
You said your dad was in a band. Is that what he does professionally?
No, so he's a lawyer,
Oh,
but
wow. That works.
he yeah, I mean, this man, my dad is, something else. He is a surfer slash lawyer slash rock and roll cover band frontman slash blues pianist.
Wow.
He's truly a crazy man, but, he's great. No, he's a lawyer professionally, but he's been in band since he was like 14, 15, and the band that he's in right now, I think formed when he was in law school. So they've been together for quite a while and they sell out, big shows, and he's still doing this at the old age of 60, still running around the
Wow.
stage. So yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I would guess you've seen him perform then?
Yeah, actually when I was like maybe 9 or 10, I used to go up and sing with him on stage, which was very sweet. It was really cute. You could probably find some videos of it online somewhere.
That's cool. All cover
Yeah.
songs? Does he write his own music?
No, he's not a writer. My mom is a writer. She writes books. That's like her job.
Wow.
So, my dad's more of like a musician kind of guy. So he plays piano and he covers like all the classic rock songs, which is, kind of
Mhm.
cool.
Mom's a novelist?
Yeah, so my mom, she is a poet and she writes novels and she did a lot of journalism when she was younger. So she's just I think that's where I get the songwriting from because she's
Yeah,
really really good with words.
you have the words from mom and then the music ability from dad. That's pretty cool.
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
It's
so
awesome.
when did you start? Like, did you take piano lessons or anything growing up?
Yeah, so my parents put my brother and I into a lot of music-centric classes.
Mhm.
My brother loves music, but it wasn't really clicking for him as much as it was for me. So I started taking piano lessons when I was like 3, and I also started dancing when I was like 3 or 4.
Wow.
Um, and both of those things like really, I think, fed my musical passion. But piano, I started, doing exams and Royal Conservatory piano and stuff. And I think that really helped me out because now when I'm writing music, I know theory and it's helpful when I'm writing with other people too, because it's just easier to communicate. So I'm really grateful for being put into piano lessons, even though it sucked during those tests. It was so scary and like my little like 8-year-old hands, I'd be like shaking, but it was worth it in the end.
Yeah, I know. That's one of my biggest regrets was not taking piano. My dad and my sister can play really well. And
Yeah.
like I was offered and I'm like, I don't really want to, play piano. And then I started playing
Mhm.
guitar poorly, like when I was in like 14, 15 years old. But
Yeah.
I wish I would have just learned piano because my sister started playing super young and now she can, play pretty much anything if she
Yeah. Yeah.
has the
I mean, it's a
music.
it's a great skill to have. I'm really thankful to my parents because they were very much about fostering creativity in our
Hmm.
house. Like it was never about, getting the best grades in school or, being the most athletic kid and stuff. It was about being creative. And when my parents kind of started to see me kinda, like, flourish into a musical kid, I think they were really excited about that and wanted to do everything they could to make sure I was getting that knowledge, which is it's just so great. They're great
Hmm.
people. I miss
That's
them a lot. I moved all the way across the country all by myself, so I
oh,
really miss mom and dad.
you said you've only lived there for what, a few months?
A few months, yeah, I think I'm coming up on 4 months now,
Okay.
but it's definitely a big adjustment being away from them since I'm their baby. I'm their youngest and,
Oh, you have
you know
siblings?
Yeah, my brother's, 20, so he's been out of the house for a little bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you moved to go to school.
Yes, I did. I did. I
Okay.
moved to go to, Ryerson, which is now XU because they're changing the name, which is it's such a great school. I love it.
Is it a music university?
No, it's a everything university, but their
Okay.
creative industries, like creative school program is really good. And this program I'm in, it's actually like the first year they're ever running this program.
Wow.
It's like an all music course, and there was only 50 people who got in, so it's a really small group of us. It's really fun. Yeah. I mean, there's
Th-
definitely some problems here and there with like just we're the test dummy group, so,
Right, of
it's
course.
not a big deal. Mhm.
Wow. One of 50, you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
have to submit like a demo or an audition? How did you get selected as one of the 50
Yeah.
people?
Yeah, so we had to submit, like, a video, um, and a demo, yeah, of something that we've written, and I honestly didn't think I was gonna go to university. I really just wanted to stay in Vancouver because I'm, working at a record label there since I was 15, and I
Oh,
was like, "This
wow.
is my" Yeah, I said, "This is my, um, you know, this is my plan for post-secondary. I just need to get my high school diploma and get out." Um, but when I found out about this program, I said, I might as well give it a try. It was the only university I applied to, and when I found out I got in, I was like, I have to go.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
working for a record label?
Yeah, yeah. So I got signed to 604 Records,
Uh-huh.
and that
How
was a
were you
game
pretty young when
changer.
that happened?
Yeah, I was 15.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah.
How did they find you and how did you get signed?
Yeah, so when I was like 14, I released an EP that I had totally produced myself. So I really got into production and I wanted to release something that felt like me because when I was younger, I worked with a lot of producers, a lot of male producers who
Mhm.
wanted to put a box on me and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna be like Sarah McLachlan. Oh, she's gonna be like Avril Lavigne." No one really asked me what I wanted. I was also
Mhm.
so young, I didn't really know what I wanted. So when I was like 14, I was like, I need to produce for myself because I'm the only person who really knows what I want. And then I released an EP, and one of the songs by some freaking miracle got on a playlist on Spotify and it blew up and Jonathan Simkin, who is the head of 604 Records, he listened to it, he really liked it, and he found out that we had like a mutual friend of a friend thing in common. Like my dad's friend's friend knew him, and he was like, "Oh, I've been listening to this girl, and like I think you know his friend's daughter." And so we came in to have a meeting with him. He found out about our contact information, reached out, and we met with him, and it was just like a perfect fit. And yeah, 3 years, 4 years later, I'm still working with them and loving it so much.
That's awesome. That is so
hmm
awesome. What was the song that blew up?
It was called Papillon,
Okay.
and it ended up getting like 100,000 streams like
Streams.
in a few weeks. I was like,
Wow.
"What?" I was not expecting it to blow up like that at all because I was just making little beats in my mom's office. She like let me renovate her office, like her writing room, so I could make
Mhm.
music in there. And it was like I wasn't even gonna put that song on the EP because I couldn't figure out the drums. I was like, whatever. So I just took the drums out and then I put it
Wow. And then
on.
it
Yeah. And
isn't it
then
funny
it
how
blew
that
up.
works that way sometimes? I've talked to a lot of artists where that will happen and be like, I don't even know if I wanted to put that on the record. And then it becomes like the biggest hit on the album.
Exactly. Yeah. I was so frustrated with I like remember it was like super late at night and I was eating cereal and I was trying so hard to make these drums work because I didn't play the piano to a click because I was 14 and stupid. So the piano wasn't in time and I was trying
Oh,
to play the drums to the piano that I'd played, which was out of time and I was like F this, like I can't do it. But it ended up, sounding pretty good without drums. And then
sure.
people liked it. So
Wow. Wow. Were you
yeah.
performing live pretty often at this point or no?
Yeah, I was performing live a lot when I was like from like the age of 13 kind of. I started getting booked a lot at these Root Dwellers festival or like songwriter showcases in Vancouver,
Mhm.
um, which I owe a lot to Claire Marie Baker. She put those shows on and she kept booking me back for more of them, and that really garnered a little bit of an audience for me because I would come back with new material a lot, and she also hosted my release show and party for the EP that I wrote that came out, which was really sweet. And yeah, but I started to play live a lot more in the summer before COVID, which really sucks because I was doing so many shows and it was so much fun
Mhm.
meeting so many cool artists from Vancouver and working with them and stuff. But meeting them through the shows and through going to shows and the little venues all around the city. But what can you do? The whole world shut
Right.
down, and then it was like, oh crap,
Uh-huh.
what am I gonna do now?
Were
You know?
you like did you just start college? Like this year? Or when did you start
Sorry,
going to university?
I started going to university this year. Yes, yeah,
Okay. Were you
yeah,
one
a
of the
few months ago.
unfortunate ones that had to graduate high school with like Zoom graduations and all that
No.
noise? Okay.
Thank God, no. I'm a 2003 baby, so I graduated in 2021, so they had kind of figured it out a little bit better. By then we had a nice little outdoor ceremony. It was actually really
Okay.
sweet. Yeah. I remember my brother's graduation because he graduated before COVID, and it was kind of a big, like it was too much of a big thing that all the kids walking across the stage, it wasn't special for any of
Right.
them, or I
That's how
felt like it.
my high school graduated. There was 1,200 kids
Yeah,
graduating for my class alone. So it was
yeah,
like
similar, yeah,
a joke. Like, why did I
yeah.
waste even time 3 hours sitting here?
Exactly, you're literally just sitting there and you're waiting for everybody. My brother was valedictorian, so it was a little bit different for
Damn,
us
that's
because we,
cool.
yeah, it was really sweet. None of us really saw that coming. But it was, yeah, it was kind of like boring to watch everybody walk across the stage. So it was nice having the smaller groups and outdoor, and it was a lot more like this is your moment, which was nice.
Mhm.
But I have a lot of friends who graduated in 2020, and it was, you know, not
Yeah, that's
ideal.
exactly not ideal. That's a good way
Mhm.
to put it.
Yeah, yeah.
So when do you start working on this latest record that you put out, Elevator Music?
So this record was 3 years in the making.
Okay.
It did not feel like it was ever gonna come out. I started working on it when I was 15. So
Wow.
a lot of the vocals you hear on that record are such like in such huge like age differences, like different times in my life. Like on How Was Your Day, which I think was the first song we recorded for this record, I was like just freshly turned 15. And then
Wow.
on like a song like Sunday, I was 17. And between 15 and 17, you grow a lot and you mature a
Mhm.
lot. And it's kind of like I feel like I can kind of pick out the like baby Molly voice versus like the more mature Molly voice, but I don't think anyone's really noticed that yet. But yeah, we started working on that record as soon as I started with 604. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. So this has been a project. You said 3-year project. And
Yeah,
did COVID
3 years.
affect it at all?
Yeah, it did affect it because we wanted to do like shows when it came out. We wanted to really promote it, live
Mhm.
because I think live performing is my favorite thing in the world. I love it so much. Um, but I mean, we did end up doing a lot of social media, live streaming and stuff for it. And because school kind of shut down during COVID, it actually made it better for me because I had a lot more time to go into the studio.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, because it was just me and Louise Burns, like my producer and co-writer, and the two of us, we would just kind of at first we would wear masks so far apart, but then we were seeing each other every day, so it was like, nah, we're
Yeah,
probably
exactly. At that
fine.
point, right.
Yeah, so it
You were
was
in the
kind of
same
nice.
bubble or whatever they
We
wanted
were
to
in the
call it.
same bubble. Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of nice, not having to go to school because sometimes my school would not be like the most supportive of me going to the studio and missing school. So it was really nice to like have that balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that you would have sessions. One might be like a Tuesday at 2 o'clock, so you'd have to leave school to go do it.
Exactly. Yeah. And a lot of my teachers were like, "This is not an excusable absence, Molly." I was like, "But it's my career,
Right.
so,
You're like, I'm already
yeah, kind
working
of
my
weird."
dream. I don't have time for this
Exactly. I don't have
school.
time to read Animal Farm. I'm
Right.
making an album.
Exactly. Right.
But
Exactly.
yeah, it was it was really nice to like be able to not feel guilty about missing school. Just going
Mhm.
into the studio. Yeah.
Very cool. And so with this new record, you said you're doing live streams. How is that? Weird.
It was kind of awful because like I think the best thing about performing live is the energy you get from the audience.
Hmm.
And the I love to like talk to the audience, get them engaged. And you see the comments and stuff, but it really isn't the same.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Have you had a
Just kind of
chance to
awkward.
perform yet?
Yes. So right before I moved to Toronto, I got a chance to perform at Guilt and Company, which is a really, really sick bar in Vancouver. It's a really cool venue. Um, and there was about 85, 90 people at the show,
Wow.
which was a pretty good turnout. It was like kind of a smaller space too, so I love to see like everybody kind of cramped together. I don't
Right.
know why I love to see that, but it's like, it's full. It's kind of a packed house mentality. And I got to play that show with one of my best friends, Max Cunningham. We put that show together in like 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so
And
he
get
is
them and
amazing.
still got 90 people plus out there. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
incredible.
Well, we started promoting the show before we even put it together. So
The show's happening. We just don't know any information about it yet. That's
exactly,
okay.
exactly. Like we knew, well, like I knew I had the venue booked.
Oh, you did.
So,
Okay.
yes, and I knew I was moving to Toronto like 2 days after the show, and I had just gotten back from Ireland because I was visiting family. So I had like 5 days to put a whole show together. And so Max, he's been my good friend for a few years. He's like an extremely talented musician. He's in a group called Ludic. They're pretty
Okay.
big out of Vancouver, and he basically put everything together. I really owe a lot to him. He put together like drums and he played guitar and he was like playing the drums with his feet like a drum pad and playing guitar and
Whoa.
yeah, it was sick, but I mean it turned out super well and the two of us we always just have so much fun on stage together and it
Mhm.
was one of the best shows of my life, I think.
That's awesome. And you haven't had a chance to play in Toronto yet?
Not yet, but I am working on booking some venues for January. So we'll see.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Molly, for doing this interview. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I do have one more question. Do you have any
Mhm.
advice for aspiring artists?
Yes. My biggest piece of advice would be don't let anybody tell you what you want, you know? A lot of my young life, like when I was really little in studios and stuff, people were kind of telling me, this is what you want, this is what you want to be. And I just wanted to be polite and nice, especially because I'm a girl and you don't want to come across in a certain way. I was like, okay, this is what's happening. But my producer and co-writer and mentor at 604 Records, Louise Burns, she taught me that you have to stand up for yourself in this industry, especially because it's such a male-dominated industry. You just have to be a boss bitch. You have to tell people what you want because at the end of the day, it's your name that's going on that art. So just, be forward about what you want. Don't let anybody tell you who you are. That's up to you. That's your choice.
Bringing it backward.